This is Jerry Mason, the Kickin Lawyer, and I'm inviting everyone to join us every Tuesday at 5 p.m. on the Kickin Lawyer fan page on Facebook for Law Talk Live, where we discuss business, politics, current events, and the law. If you miss the live version, you can watch the playback on YouTube or listen on your favorite podcast platform. All right, it's Jerry Mason, the Kickin Lawyer. We're live for another Law Talk. Thank you, each person that takes a second to watch the show that we do randomly every week. I do want to remind you, if you haven't already, to like, follow, subscribe to our content across social media platforms. We're also on all podcast platforms. And, of course, the favorite one is the TikToks. You can go look at the TikToks, and Josh will do dances for you. It'll be a lot of fun on the TikToks. And then you got to do faster on those lower thirds, Josh. You don't have me a cheat sheet, so I'm having to guess. All right, Wonder Girl is out by N.A. the Band. They also have their full album out. If you haven't had a chance yet, download that for those guys. It helps them out. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. We also want to thank Michelle Allen. She's our longtime sponsor in the area. She's your go-to for anything realtor-related. She'll also just help you if you're generically trying to figure out your way around the community. She's a really nice person. Comes to the cellar a lot. We got Mason's High Octane Martial Arts. You go to masonsmartialarts.com. Just relocated and should be open in the new location tomorrow. That business I've had open since 1993, so 30 years. I'm excited about that. And we're our biggest facility yet. And then, of course, the Cellar Restaurant and Prohibition Bar located here in Covington on the Square. I'll be there as soon as this is over doing trivia tonight. And then we're looking forward to our new location opening in Summerville probably in July. So, and then I don't want to forget about Josh. Masonite Digital Marketing. Josh will help you with your online presence, whether it's websites, branding, social media, etc. Just go to masonitemarketing.com and he'll help you. He'll also tell you about Comic-Con stuff, which is what we're going to talk about today with my guest, Achana and Sonia. Okay, I got it right once. We'll see if I can get it right again. And they're here to talk to us about the Haywood Comic-Con. It's a comic convention. If you watch any of the stuff I do, you know that Josh, me, and Tara promote the Covington Comic-Con. And so nice to meet you ladies. Thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, and I know you said I met you at the Covington Comic-Con, but obviously we didn't get to talk at any length. So that's what I'd like to start with, is talking about the Comic-Con. So first of all, I guess let's do this. Tell everybody where it is, when it is, how to get tickets, all that kind of stuff.
So it's going to be this weekend at our Haywood College Hill Complex. It'll be Friday from 3 to 8 and Saturday from 10 to 6.
Cool. And tickets?
Tickets are available at the door or online at haywoodcomiccon.com.
Cool. Are there adult tickets, kid tickets, or are you splitting them? Is it the same?
It's the same.
Okay.
I think 5 and below is free, but then the rest is $12 for 1 day and $18 for a 2-day pass.
Yeah, and for people that don't know, on these comic conventions, because this is something we were proud of with the Covington Comic-Con, that is super cheap. I shouldn't say cheap. I'm sure it's very valuable, but it's a very affordable price compared to a lot of the other comic conventions. I mean, you're talking usually a minimum of $25 a day. It's usually upwards from there for these comic conventions. And then I know you got a lot of different guests that actually some I've interviewed, like Santiago's been on my podcast. But just let's run through the list of some of these folks that people can see and all that for them. Here, the reason I asked this up front, I'll have people that'll watch the first 5-10 minutes of this, right? And then some of them will only watch the end. So I usually do it at the beginning and end, all the important information.
Well, I've got a cheat sheet so we don't forget anyone.
Good.
So you mentioned Santiago, which of course is on the Walking Dead, who is an actor. I hear that he brings a really high energy show and presence to the conference. Andrea Starnes, who is a cosplayer that a lot of people in the area will be familiar with. She's actually hosting our cosplay contest and one of the judges. So we're excited to have her, along with Quartz Kitty, who will also be one of our judges. Tad and Tony Tyrone Reed, Tadpole and Tony, are going to be our MCs for the weekend. They have a podcast called Overdue Movie Reviews, where they review old movies. And then Tony is also an author, so he will have a table there with his books. Then we have Brian Huff of Huff Photo, who will be doing photographs of all of our cosplayers and stuff. So we're really excited about having them.
She said Brian Huff, and my law partner's Brian Huffman. Brian didn't tell me about it.
He has another career.
Yeah.
Yeah, so wrapping us up for Friday will be the Murdering Crows in concert at 7 p.m.
Nice.
So we've added a little music to our con. And the good thing about it is it's going to be a little bit of something for everyone.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
We have DL Memphis, who I believe has a podcast called The Ice Cream Queens. She and Lauren Knight will be there. The 731 Ghostbusters. Coco Beware.
I grew up with Coco Beware.
Oh, yeah.
He will be there from 2 to 6 on Saturday. We have the Legacy Wrestlers, who will be there at 4 o'clock that afternoon doing some shows and stuff. That will be an outside ring. But at noon Saturday, we have something special for all the kids. We have Magic Mr. Nick.
Yeah, a magician that's coming in
Cool.
to kind of have a little something for the children to enjoy and get engaged in as well.
Cool. Yeah, well, so it sounds like y'all's is almost more show than a lot. You know, a lot of them are vendors. They go and it's got it'll have competition components, but you don't really have a lot of, I don't want to say shows or attractions, but it sounds like you've got a good number of activities they can actually see and participate with.
That's right. And panels. We've got panels that are scheduled throughout the entire weekend. So.
Sweet.
Yeah.
As well as the vendors.
That's
we have
right.
about 30 vendors.
That's good.
Food trucks.
Food trucks.
Yeah, so the vendor, when I go, so you may or may not know or care about this, but I'll tell you, the reason that we did the whole Covington Comic-Con, Josh had been going to comic conventions for years to promote his movies that he made. He's made a lot of fan films and stuff, and then on the side he's my marketing director, but he also does commercials and stuff for folks, so a lot of that. Well, so he'd kind of been in that world. Well, I've been a nerd since I was a kid, and I think it's a good thing, right? Love comic books. Yeah. I think I've got 30,000 comic books.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, mostly Superman, superhero oriented. That's why the Kickin Lawyer thing is all blue and red. It's all Superman themed, right? Anyway, and we would go to conventions. And we went to a few in Memphis, and they're nice. I mean, they're fun to go to, but sometimes they were a little expensive. And we were like, why should we have to drive there when we have a wonderful community here in Tipton County? Why can't we have it here in our hometown? So, and then Tara had a superhero day at her ice cream place, and she asked me to come as the Kickin Lawyer. So I wore my Kickin Lawyer suit and went over there as if I was this comic book guy. And it was freezing cold, and I bet she had 80 kids show up. And I was like, there's a market here for it. So she had said something about doing a convention together, Tara did. And anyway, she talked to me and Josh about doing it together, and that's how it kind of come together for Covington. And so obviously we've had 2, and we're planning the 3rd one now. So I'm glad to see other ones in the area come up, because I think it just benefits all of us.
Yeah.
So what was the nexus for you guys? What was sort of the development to want to do it?
We were inspired by the Covington.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Good.
And we've often asked ourselves, and still today, I think we finally have an answer. We've asked ourselves if we were too old to do any of this.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
we are.
yeah. Yeah.
We are discovering we are.
Only as old as you feel. Yeah, it is a lot of work to put them on.
It is.
A lot of organizing, and then little things logistically that people
That's
don't
right.
think about, like how many tables you have.
Yes.
You know, how many chairs you got. I don't know if y'all are doing food trucks.
We are.
But those were difficult to work with.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes they'll show up and then leave, and sometimes they just don't show up.
Yeah.
We had a couple last year. The last one we did that that come up and did exactly what they were supposed to do. What was that one, Josh? The what's the name?
Rockin' Robin.
Rockin' Robin.
Yeah.
Rockin' Robin did a great job. They were there timely, stayed. Were great to have.
Yeah.
But you know, our Covington Square has a lot of good food options anyway, so we weren't as concerned about the food options. And where are you doing it at? Tell me again. It's at the College
Hill Complex.
So where is that at?
It's 127 North Grand Avenue. It's in the historic district. Very easy to find.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's because I think of everything in terms of squares, the old school squares.
It's on the west side of the square.
Okay. So is it walking distance of the square, or?
It could be. It's a nice walk. You know?
Yeah.
It could be, but not very far from the square.
Sweet. Have y'all? Do you have any idea pre-sale ticket wise? Like how many people you think? What's your projection on how many people are going to be there?
It's funny you asked.
We really don't have a projection. based on the Covington Con and what the other cons that we've attended since then, we're hoping
Fingers crossed.
for 1,500, 2,000
Yeah.
over the weekend.
Yeah, that's a reasonable. Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
reasonable.
Yeah,
number.
our first one, that was around what we were hoping for. And then we all ended up losing count. Like we didn't have a good system that first year, I don't think. We have an estimate of how many we had, and it was more than that.
Our first year, I think the reason it blew projections so much from what we, I think, even anticipated, though, was because of the fact that we were just coming off COVID, in which a lot of the local conventions had not been going on for the past 2 years.
So we caught that wave of people just glad to get out again.
Yeah.
We actually had a few more the first year than the second year, but we had kind of anticipated that. And then we also, you'll do this too if you continue to do them. We played with things a little different the second year. Like the first year we did the panel. So like you'll have people come. You may or may not know this. Have y'all been to a bunch of Comic-Cons? Do you go to a lot of
We've
them?
been to a few since we decided to start doing this.
Yeah.
So I go to buy comic books or get comic book art. That's why I go. In my office, I'll show you before you leave, it's full of custom comic book art because I'll go to these conventions and get these artists to make something custom, right? I like original stuff. My point is, like, I go for that purpose, and I had never done the cosplaying or any of that. Well, you'll also have people, though, that come just because they want to cosplay. You know, they come because it's an opportunity for them to express themselves and dress up.
You'll have people that come exclusively for the panels.
Yeah,
and don't even come for
well,
the
you do have some
vendors
people come from the panels. What I was going to say though is, you know, and then the vendors and et cetera, and the food or just the experience, and then some people don't have a clue what it is. The first year we did it, that was a huge hurdle.
We had to educate.
Is so many people didn't know what a comic convention was. I'm the president of the Chamber of Commerce here, right? And we would have these meetings with all these businesses. It'd be 30, 50 businesses, and I would promote the Comic-Con, and they would every time there was somebody going, "What's a Comic-Con?"
We've gotten that quite a bit. Too.
Yeah. So you got to educate them. But what I was going to say is we had to learn and pivot because you got some people, that won't do the panels. Well, the second year we did it, we were in this big open room. And so we saw the panels are up front, and it's kind of loud and distracting to the whole rest of it. So I don't know. You just got to play with it and figure out different stuff. Yeah. So what are y'all most excited about personally about hosting it?
Well, I'm actually looking forward to just the exposure in our community.
Yeah.
A safe place
Sure.
for cosplayers, the children in our community. This is something completely different.
Yeah.
So by this being the inaugural con, I'm just looking forward to some positive feedback and in hopes that folks say, hey, do it again next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want to help. That's
Sure.
what we're looking for. We would love to have some additional help.
Sure. Well, you know, to Tara's credit, she had talked to us about coming in and helping if needed with it. And I know she's been in communications with you.
Oh, yes.
Whether she told you or Josh tells you, as you'll see, I have no time at all.
Yeah.
So I want to be more helpful with people. And I find this interesting. People, I think that I have more time than I have, and they get offended if I say no on things. But like tonight, my schedule is packed to 9:30 p.m. of stuff that I've got to do between all the businesses I do. This is my form of apologizing. Is what I'm doing.
We get
to say
it.
that I wasn't,
We get it.
wasn't there to help, not because I don't want to. And then I plan to come. I have to do a testing Saturday morning and a self-defense seminar after that I'm teaching. And then if I get that timely done where I can get over there, I'll try to come over there myself because I'd like to see it.
We'd love to have you.
Sure.
Love to have you. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, I mean, I think it's a great opportunity. And again, let's, I guess, back up and explain to people who don't know, because we are still sort of talking in sort of a micro view, I guess, of what a comic convention is. When you go to a comic convention, you do not have to dress up, but you can dress up. Everybody's welcome there. It's an opportunity for people. And what I like about it, because I can't stand bullies. Like the whole reason I'm the person I am and got in martial arts was because when I was little, I got picked on real bad, right? I was heavy set. I stuttered. I had all these different issues. And there's no way I'd be an attorney or any of the things that I've done if it wasn't for getting in martial arts and getting some confidence and discipline, right? But to this day, as a lawyer, I view myself as the protection against bullies, and sometimes the bullies of the state. So anyway, what I was getting at is I like the Comic-Con because there everybody's accepted. You can be whoever you want to be on that day and don't have to worry about people judging you or picking on you. Right. You know, there's a lot of kids that need that. Mm-hmm. They don't have an opportunity in like even regular school to be themselves. And I think it's good to have that that opportunity and be able to be who they are and have a place where they feel accepted.
Right. That's what I meant when I said a safe place.
Yeah. Well, and good. I appreciate that. That's good. So for parents that wonder now, sometimes you will see things that are a little unique, like and I don't say this to make fun of them, but the furries. Josh knows about the furries.
They're interesting.
They're interesting, and that's different for a lot of people. But it's mostly just going and seeing vendors. When we say vendors, there's people that sell not just comic book stuff. There's anime stuff. There's arts and crafts. There's sometimes apparel, lots of toys, action figures, all these kind of things. There's all kinds of different stuff. Like they said, they have food options, and then you've got comic book artists, right?
Right.
Who have you got? Who have you got comic book artist wise? Do you know? I didn't get you to bring. You didn't bring that list.
I can't think of it.
Sean Howe.
Okay.
Is one of our.
Well, here's the only
artists.
reason I ask while you look it up. That's of course what I like is the artist. That's an opportunity to see people that are creating some of the stuff that we like, and then you can support them. Sometimes they have their own comic book line that people don't know about. So there's a lot of unique things that you get to see and participate in. Their con has music too. Friday night, you said there's music, which is unique, and it's not an opportunity you get a lot of conventions. And then you've got other things for people to see, like the wrestling event, the magician, and then you got any cars coming or anything that's out there? You said the Ghostbusters are coming. Sometimes they bring a car.
Right, and then we have Rusty's TV and Movie Car Museum, who's coming over and going to bring a car.
Nice. You know which one he's bringing?
Yes, but I can't tell you what it was.
What is he? Where's he out of?
He's out of Jackson.
So Rusty, I know him. He is the guy who him and I believe his partner used to run Southern Fried Pop Culture Comic Con a few years back that I went to, and I filmed some of their cosplay music videos for them. But it was actually a really successful con over in Jackson.
Yeah. Cool. We need to make sure we holler at him next time if we get, because one of the things the first year I thought we did really well was we had a lot of cars, and the people really liked that. They were good photo ops because we had the Ghostbusters, we had a DeLorean, and we had a Jurassic Park Jeep.
Oh yeah.
And there was something else I thought we were gonna. Was it?
Yeah, we had all the same. Well, we were gonna have the Batmobile, but
that's what it was.
Yeah, it ended up getting like damaged or something where he wasn't able to bring it.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool. So you told me what you're looking forward to specifically, but what are you looking forward to? Is it the same thing?
Trailer Park Boys. It's a car from Trailer Park Boys.
Okay, cool. So Brian Huffman we were talking about is a big Trailer Park Boys fan. So
there you go. I think I'm looking forward to the reaction of the community, because we learned when we came to the Covington one and others that we've gone to since then, this is a community that we knew nothing about, who's into all of this. And like you said, they're, explaining what a Comic-Con is difficult for me because I'm not part of that culture. But I think it's important that even though I'm not part of that culture, that be offered to people who are.
Yeah.
And as, one of the cultural leaders in our community, we need to be on the lookout for those kind of opportunities and those kind of instances where we can showcase that in our community. That's right. And just since we've been talking about this, so many people in our community have come forward and said, oh, well, I'm a big fan of this, or I'm a big fan of that. I can't wait for this. It's like, who knew?
That's right.
In our normal dialogue and our normal everyday connections to these people, we don't know these things.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people don't have it takes confidence to cosplay. And I think a lot of people would like to do that, but might not necessarily have the confidence. I am probably one of the most confident / arrogant people you will ever meet. And I had never cosplayed until the last Covington Comic Con, where I did the Budget Batman thing. It's behind you, Budget Batman's where you can take a selfie of him. But anyway,
I think we have one, don't we?
I think he came to an interview we did with Tara and Josh.
I think we have one. Yeah, he showed up.
Yeah,
he made an appearance.
Well, I'm all about the marketing, and I have done like I did Rocky Horror. I did the Rocky Horror Picture Show and was Rocky in Rocky Horror, right? And that show's got its own subculture and fanfare, and enemies, I guess. But anyway, I did that, and then when I was in the U.S. Taekwondo team for 8 years, okay, and got to go all over the world. I got to go to North Korea, South Korea, China, all over. It was a great experience. But in the course of that, we would do these demonstrations, and I was the one that dressed up. So like I was Liu Kang once for Mortal Kombat. I was the trophy on top of a karate trophy. I was gold from head to toe, and I was the trophy guy. Anyway, I was always dressed up, and I always liked it. I played Spider-Man one time, and I liked people's reaction when you were in costume. And so the Budget Batman thing was sort of a way for me to, for lack of a better term, let my freak flag fly, I guess, and be, in cosplay, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun with folks. So are y'all cosplaying?
I'm not.
Maybe.
Maybe? What are we thinking about?
Maybe. I could always be Achana. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, for some people, that is they are playing themselves,
That's
right?
right. That's right. Perhaps we're working.
What
on
would you
something.
lean towards? Superheroes, Star Wars,
Probably
like what
superheroes. Something like yeah. I like the Incredibles.
Okay, that's
I
cool.
love the Incredibles.
Yeah,
I like the mom. Elastigirl.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
so super cool.
Nice.
So
Well, you've
super
kind of got the hair going
Yeah,
already.
yeah. I've already worked that part out.
Yeah, I like it. What about you, Miss Sonia?
Well, I don't know because I think of Star Trek. So I guess maybe one of the characters from Star Trek or something.
That's a pretty easy one too. You just got to put on. You'll be a red shirt.
Yeah.
They're. I don't know if you guys have got them coming, but Memphis has a stormtrooper union or whatever. Is it called?
501st. They're actually nationwide. It's just there's different regiments of them.
Yeah, but they're pretty cool. These dudes go all out. Like they come in these custom stormtrooper suits, and they'll be like thousands of dollars they've spent on these stormtrooper suits, and then they'll do like a parade in your Comic-Con. I think we've had some of them come. We haven't had the whole group come, but they're pretty cool that they go. I mean, these people go all out on these costumes.
They do. Kenneth Dunn.
Oh yeah, no, Kenneth's been on the show.
Gosh,
He does. He's got a whole following on his stuff. Yeah. Well, have y'all talked to Trouble the Clown? No, we could get you in contact with him. He's a unique fella.
Unique, you say?
I was about to say
Unique, you say?
He's one of those. I don't want to say evil clowns, but yeah. Anyway, he won the first year. He won the adult comic or adult cosplay contest as Trouble the Clown, and then he's also got like his own. So we do this live, right? The show. And we don't make money or whatever on it. We just kind of do it because me and Josh like it. But when he was on it, he had the most live viewers we've ever had, and most of them were in England. He has there's this huge subculture of these
clowns,
these scary clowns in England, and these people literally got up to watch him on the show. It was the most. We had like 80 people watching live from England. So anyway, he's somebody else that he'd probably show up if y'all said something to him. I know it's short notice. So is there room out there? Y'all got parking out there, all that? It's all covered?
We're working all of that out.
Yeah. That's how we're
hoping the weather is really good. Maybe the rain will go away and we'll have some dry land, so to speak. So,
yeah.
It's a pretty nice sized complex.
Sweet. So. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure where it's at, but I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
So what was I going to say? Oh, where do they go to get the tickets? What is the website?
HeywoodComicCon.com.
So it's just like ours is Covington Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So curious, why did you say Haywood instead of Brownsville? Why did you go with Haywood?
Well, I think it encompasses the entire community.
Yeah.
Whether you're out in the city, if you're in the city limits, you're out in the county. So I just think that means everybody. Just come on. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we debated.
That was my reasoning for doing it.
Yeah, I think that's actually a wiser move than
Yeah.
I actually am not too big a fan in retrospect that we went with Covington Comic-Con and not something like Tipton County Comic-Con or something like that.
Well, or even we had even talked about a generic name where it could go elsewhere, that comic convention.
Yeah. So a lot of the big conventions, what they do, the ones that have multiple conventions underneath their like one entity, like Fan Fest, they'll have a name like Fan Fest Events or something like that, and then they'll have like Knoxville Fan Fest or Fan Expo or something, and then they'll have like a Florida Fan Expo. That way the name can be utilized, wherever, and it's not limited to just one location. But that's what the big
Well, when we first had decided this, none of us had any businesses outside of Tipton County or Covington. Really, everything was in Covington. All my businesses were here, and then in the last several years, I have a law firm in Somerville, and then we're fixing to do a cellar in Somerville. There's an office over there. And then we talked about Haywood, too. My point is, like, we wanted to benefit where we were. And so I think plus I thought Covington Comic-Con worked together. You got the C's,
right.
it sounded like it was good together. So it is what it is. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, the only reason I got frustrated with it is last year we had some problems finding a location. The first year, y'all didn't make the first year, right?
No.
Okay, the first year when we had so many people, we were in a much smaller venue. We didn't anticipate it, and it really wasn't set up for that many people. And so then the next year, I still don't think we really had enough space, but when we did this old church complex up here, that was a last-minute thing because we thought we had another place, and we couldn't get permission to even host the thing because we wanted to do it at a school because that would have been ideal.
The gymnasium
Right,
is
But we
right.
kept getting pushback from the school. And what we were frustrated by, and I was very vocal about this, is we were bringing so much money to the community and an opportunity for kids to go have fun and enjoy themselves. That second year, we gave every kid in Tipton County a free ticket.
Both years we did.
Both years we
Oh,
did, yeah. Because we figured they were going to come with an adult anyway, but we wanted them to come. So we gave them free tickets. So it benefited the kids tremendously. And then we couldn't get support to have it at a school. So we were real frustrated. So we were talking about just literally taking it somewhere else because we weren't getting the support we wanted.
Yeah, I'm very, very vocal and honest in saying that Tara and Jerry are the reason that it is staying in Covington. Because if it was me, yeah, I would gladly take it.
Yeah. And then
elsewhere.
we donated the first year, all the proceeds went to charity. The second year, I think we made what, $400? I think netted.
Yeah,
I think we each netted
per-
like
yeah,
$400
per
after we
partner,
gave
yeah.
everything out. So
Yeah.
it's definitely not to make money. And like we were just talking about, it's a lot of work.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work.
Well, tell me this: in hosting a comic convention, so some of the people watching may be in a smaller community and want to do their own. What has been the biggest learning curve? Like, what is the thing that's popped up that you just didn't anticipate, or a couple of things that were surprising to you as you organized it all?
Well, I think so many people have contacted us, and it just, to me, seems like there's a con family. The culture is massive.
Sure.
And there's so many different disciplines within the con. Like we're doing the wrestling, we're doing the comics, the cosplay, the music, and so that has been just phenomenal to just get to become a little more acquainted with what people expect at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about for you?
Well, and to your point about the space, we figured out early on that we've really outgrown the space that we're having it in before we've even started.
Yeah.
We've got people on waiting lists for vendors, and, just the interest has been so tremendous.
Well, maybe y'all tell Ford about that. That you need a bigger venue.
Knock, 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 knock.
Well, that's a convention center, the Blue Oval Convention
Yeah.
Well,
Center.
I don't know how much y'all follow that, but they do throw a lot of money into the communities they come into.
They do.
And there's already, negotiations on what money is going to go where for
Right.
things that are needed. And we do need an event center in this area.
We do.
Desperately.
I mean,
need
you got
an event center
stuff
in this
outside.
area.
You need something outside of Memphis and outside of Jackson.
Jackson. That's true. That's true.
I meant to ask y'all this earlier, but what do you do regularly? Because y'all do a podcast together, right?
We do
do.
video blog. Yeah,
we
we've got a video blog. You start. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I've got to get mine together.
I have a couple of main titles. I am the director of the West Tennessee Delta Heritage Center, which is a music heritage destination in Brownsville. And we tell the rural West Tennessee story, the culture of rural West Tennessee, to visitors from all over the world. And I am also the director of Visit Brownsville, which is our tourism arm of our government.
Do you know Perry Ann?
Perry Ann Houghton?
Yes.
Yes.
yeah.
So she or you maybe sent me a proposal for Hello Haywood or Hey Haywood. Or,
That was Perry Ann.
was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she kept bugging me and was mad that I didn't because I get busy. And it's not that because I'm interested in moving into that market. I have some billboards over there. But anyway, I just put two and two together that you would have, that was your sort of deal.
Yeah, actually, it's the marketing piece that the local newspaper and radio station put together, which she is working for now.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah. And it just came out last week.
That's
so,
right. Just had its release
yeah, it's
party.
a great piece that we're going to really use for lots of marketing in our community.
I'll have to get you a copy.
Sure. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I'm not in it.
You should.
I'll
But
beat
you're
around
on
the
a
bush.
billboard
Yeah.
right down from my place.
Okay, good. I'm there
See
either
you
way,
every
right?
day.
That's
Okay,
right. Kickin.
Yeah. It's actually me kicking too.
Yeah. So what I do, I am cultural arts supervisor for Haywood County through Brownsville-Haywood County Parks and Rec, which entails a whole lot, even an after-school program for some underserved population of children, youth in our community. And then I am also the executive director of the Brownsville Arts Council.
Sweet.
So anything music, theater, ballet, whatever, performance arts, visual arts even, a lot of it comes from my office, and we collaborate quite a bit.
Nice. Well, then I'm glad y'all brought that up. So I was on the Tipton Arts Council here, right? I recently resigned because I was so busy with all the other stuff that I've already been fussing about. But my son is Austin Mason, and him and his best friend Noah are in a band, NA the Band, and they're actually very good. I did a little promo at the beginning for them, and you can download their album for free. Okay, my partner and I produced it. We took them to Nashville, rented a studio musicians, whole deal, paid the money, got them an album. They got an album, and it's actually very good. It's all original music. It's got kind of an '80s sound to it, surprisingly.
wow.
But I'm trying to get them acts, gigs, right?
Yeah.
So they would, I'm sure, love to perform at your stuff. The second way, though, is I also am trying to build a music culture here on Covington Square. So my son and Noah run Liberty Guitar and Gear across the street from the Cellar. It's a guitar store, right?
Yeah, the last time we were at the Cellar, we saw it.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So they're right across the street, and they have a big stage in there where they have music. We have music at the Cellar Fridays and sometimes Saturdays, and then I'm opening a book and record store this summer on the square, and it's going to have a stage in it where we'll do poetry and music and etc. in there. And so anyway, we're trying to get this like arts culture here. Well, I need acts too. So I'm sure you probably have contacts that I don't even know about that could come up here and get some exposure, and vice versa. Because I have a whole stable of acts that I have regularly on rotation here at the Cellar. So we definitely need to connect on all that music stuff.
Yeah, certainly.
The other thing I was going to say on some of your, you said underserved communities earlier. So I teach martial arts like all over, and I like to go do it sometimes just for fun at places like that if you ever have interest in it.
Yes, absolutely.
I also like going and talking to them about their rights, about the way the system works and whatnot, and just sort of getting them some education on any of that. So you can always use me as an asset for any of that stuff you want.
Well, thank you for that.
Sure, and
we'll
we always
take you
bring
up
them
on it too.
We always bring them a bunch of swag. And seriously, if you're interested in any of that, just talk to Josh. He's my assistant. I promoted him last week from marketing director to my administrative assistant.
Not sure that's a promotion.
That was my question. Is that a promotion?
Well, he got more money, so I think it counts.
Okay.
But the main thing that was added was him handling my calendar, because I feel bad. People message me and want me to do things. I want to do it, but then I can't even check the message. And so Josh just checks all that stuff and gets it all set up for me.
We'll be in contact soon. Yeah. Love to have you come to the area sometime this summer.
Yeah, I want to be more involved in Haywood. Yeah. So I think you have a great community over there. So
it's a great place to live.
On a side note there on that, what do y'all think about the whole Blue Oval City thing?
It's a great opportunity.
You hesitated.
No, I just allowed her to speak first. That's all.
Good. See, I don't do that well.
Yeah, just allowed her to speak first.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
It's a great opportunity for our community. There's lots of potential there. It's change, which is scary, just like everything. And we've been used to doing things like we've always done them. That's been something we have both worked to, like bring in the Comic-Con to the community.
Sonia,
it's something that's new. That's something we've worked on for years to present different things. And this just opens up the opportunities just tremendously.
I agree. Are y'all both from Haywood?
We are.
Yes.
Okay. See, I'm born and raised right here.
Yeah, we were born and raised in Haywood County.
Yeah, and Haywood, it's funny. So Fayette County, which I've obviously moved into business-wise, in the beginning, the Cellar they've been very welcoming on, but I had some resistance initially with my law firm because it was always like, who's his daddy? Where's he from? And I'm like, it's not going to be that big a deal because I'm from Tipton County. Like, it's the same thing, right? Yeah. But it wasn't exactly the same thing. So I like to think that all of us from these small rural communities, it's very similar. It's all the same. We're all West Tennesseans, just not Memphis or Jackson. So.
Right. That's right.
That's right.
So there was something else I was going to ask you as you said that. Now it's left me what I was going to say. Must not have been important. Tell me about the podcast you do, the video blog you said. How do they find you on that?
Visit Brownsville TN on Facebook. Visit BrownsvilleTN.com. We've got Visit Brownsville on YouTube. But it's just a weekly video blog, and it's called Brownsville As Is, and As is A
for Achana,
S for Sonia.
I saw that. You did that on the pod.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it was the one with the Reed guy. That's the one I watched.
Tony Reed.
Yeah. I thought y'all were I thought you did well interviewing him. It was very smooth and nice.
Oh, well, thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, y'all didn't seem like, so see on my show sometimes I'll even drink on my show. And sometimes it gets a
Where
little.
is it at?
I got it.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Don't tempt me. Anyway, mine will get wild because I'll just ask whatever. Like, I like talking about controversial stuff, and so it'll go all over the place. Probably not necessarily good for my brand, but that's just part of my brand is being very transparent. So, but anyway, I thought y'all did well on it. Do you do like local people, local stuff that's going on?
Well, we try to stay the West Tennessee region.
Yeah.
I don't think we've expanded too much. Oh, we've gone to St. Louis, haven't we?
We did go to St.
Yeah.
Louis for a couple, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we try to showcase West Tennessee, not just Brownsville, even though that's the name of the blog. We think there's so much in our rural area that people would be interested in and want to be a part of if they knew about it.
Yeah.
So,
oh, no, I agree completely. So one of the reasons I'm doing this book and record store is it's going to have a recording studio in it. And what I have found in dealing with all these music acts is they're super talented, but they don't understand how to monetize any of it. They don't know how to market or promote themselves. And what I'm best at, of all the things I'll tell you I'm good at, the one thing that I'm best at is marketing. Like, that's really what I do the best is marketing. I'm good at knowing whatever your target market is, identifying that market, and then coming up with a plan to get to that target market. The Kickin Lawyer is this way because my target market are blue-collar people, the normal people. I want people that look at that and think, oh, that guy, what is that? That's funny. You know, what's this guy? I could talk to him. I can have a beer with him. I can make fun of him. It's fine. He's making fun of himself. So it's relatable, and it's done really well for my market. I'm not trying to get the CEO of, FedEx or anything. I'm trying to get the everyday. My point is, I think that I'm best at that. And in y'all's community in Brownsville, like, I think, that's what I was going to say a second ago. When you're talking about change. So Tipton County has even had a little resistance with some of the new growth that's coming, right? The thing is, there's going to be growth. And what I tell people that are resistive to the change, you're either going to have what I call positive growth or negative growth. You're either going to have, sort of big box retailers eventually, maybe nicer restaurants, things come into your community, more tax money that benefits your school system and your roads and infrastructure and all this. Or, not that they're bad businesses, you're going to have check cashing places, liquor stores, and some of the things that are like title company, lower end, usually for socioeconomically depressed areas. And you are going to have to decide which type of growth you want in your community. Because with this much money being invested by a company in the community, there's going to be some growth. Y'all's property values have already gone up over there.
Oh, yeah.
So, because we looked at some property over there, and man, it literally in the last year, it's like quadrupled. So, I mean, I think you're right. I think it's great opportunities for you. Yeah.
I want to go back to something you said. You mentioned the target audience. What we have found with this whole Comic-Con thing is it's such a wide range.
Yeah,
of
I know, it's
folks.
surprising. Isn't
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What's the lady's name with the parrot on her?
I think
Mama,
they called
maybe,
them
or
Mama
somebody. That was at the con here in Covington. I mean, I was just so amazed to see.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're talking about what's her name, Josh? The lady that Bird Song or something was her name. Dragon Song.
From maybe Middleton or somewhere.
Dragon Song. Yeah, she changes like 3 different cosplay outfits during the convention.
Right.
She's so sweet too.
Yeah.
I remember her from the first one we did. She was just real memorable.
Yeah.
But then you got little kids that'll come too.
Yes.
They get to
There's
see
such
all
a
the different
range.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's there's something, like you said at the beginning, there's something for everybody there. So, I'm excited for you ladies, and y'all seem like really nice folks. So I'm glad to get to
thank
finally
you.
talk with you.
Good
You
to-
may be
good to speak
pretending,
with
right?
you.
No.
No.
Next time you come
As
back,
is. As
That's right.
is.
That's all right.
next time you come back, we'll bust the bourbon out and we'll see if they're nice ladies. Or we'll go to the cellar and then we figure
that
out.
sounds like a plan.
That does. We're headed in that direction now.
Oh,
You
good.
think?
Well,
Yeah, we
got-
haven't had lunch. So.
We have trivia tonight, so I'm literally after this headed straight over there. Trivia starts at 6:30. It's our third biggest night of the week. Is doing the trivia. It's packed.
Well, the food's good.
Well, thank you. I
The
appreciate
food's
that.
really
Yes.
good. We
Yeah.
like it.
So we have Chef Reggie. I don't know if you met him any time you've been there, but he's really good. I agree. I think the quality of the food's consistent and good. It has been a good experience.
Yeah.
The first weekend we opened was not a good experience. But
Growing pains.
Yeah, no, it's because we didn't have no idea what we were doing. We were just like, oh yeah, let's do a restaurant, prohibition themed restaurant, and none of us had any experience in the restaurant business, none. So that was a good learning curve, but we got it down now, so it's good. Well, anything else you want folks to know before we cut it off here?
Yeah, we want them to come to Brownsville this coming Friday and Saturday for the Haywood Comic-Con. That's, get on to our website at haywoodcomiccon.com. That's a mouthful. No wonder you guys went to CCC. That's a mouthful. Yeah, for ticket information, times, and you may even get to see the itinerary for the
I
weekend.
thought you were going to say your cosplay when
No,
you did that. I was
no,
getting excited.
I saw it in your eyes.
You've got to show up to find out what
Yeah.
she does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said you
Or
got to get to
if.
see.
Yeah.
Or if,
okay.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Well, in October, I was playing Rocky in the Rocky Horror Show up here, and I tore my hamstring off the bone. So I had to have surgery and have been doing rehab and stuff. And so I've gotten back where I can kick some. They said it'll be another month, but my goal is I've always been able to do this because I started when I was 6. So I've always been able to do splits and everything. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
But it's funny, the surgeon asked me the last time I was there, I was like, so I'm going to be able to do the splits again, right? And get back. And he's like, why do you need to do the splits? And I was like, because if I'm going to cosplay Rocky or Batman, you got to be able to kick and do the splits.
That's right.
So, yeah, important to play the role, right? Well, I hope that you guys will come and see us at the Haywood Comic-Con, and come in cosplay or not, it doesn't matter. If you don't know what it is, then that's more reason to even come check it out and see what it is. There's definitely something there for everybody. Even if it's just to see everything, to see the things that are going on, I think it's a really good opportunity for everybody. So anyway, go check them out. It's this weekend, the 10th and 11th in Brownsville, Tennessee, the Haywood Comic-Con. Just go to haywoodcomiccon.com. And they'll be glad to help you out. Achana and Sonia. Did I say it?
Achana.
Achana.
You were almost
Got it
there.
backwards.
You were almost
Oh,
there.
I had it. All right, Achana, I'm sorry.
There you go. That's okay.
Thank y'all for coming on the show.
Thank you for
Thanks for
having
having us.
us.
And again, seriously, if you need me to help with any of that stuff, as you see, I don't mind running my mouth. I'll be glad to help with whatever you got.
We'll be calling.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So don't forget to always like, follow, subscribe to the content. We're on YouTube, all social media platforms, podcast platforms, etc. And of course, we're on TikTok. New TikToks go up daily. We got like 22,000 followers on that. So everybody likes watching Josh dance. As I mentioned earlier, you got NA the Band. You just Google NA the Band or search NA the Band on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, etc. It's free. Please download their album. It really helps those guys out. Michelle Allen is the local Crowlike realtor, and she's been a longtime sponsor of our show. So if you need any information on real estate, buying, selling, leasing, etc., Michelle Allen will be glad to help you out. And I just mentioned that Mason's High Octane Martial Arts in Covington has been open since '93. And if you would like to also become a Kickin lawyer, just visit masonsmartialarts.com. And we just relocated to a giant facility, so you have to come check us out. And, of course, the Cellar Restaurant and Prohibition Bar is located off the square in Covington, open 7 days a week starting at 4 p.m. Great food, great drinks. Tonight is Tuesday, and I will be there live to do their trivia night, so you can join us there tonight. And Masonite Digital Marketing would be glad to help you with your online presence. If you need help with branding, website, social media, etc., just holler at Josh. MasoniteMarketing.com. So thanks again for watching. Next week, who we got, Josh? You know?
Let's see. Next week is Mr. J Black.
Oh, cool. Is he finally going to be on it?
Yeah, finally got him scheduled.
We'll see. Jay's been scheduled multiple times and always had to miss, so hopefully we'll get to see him. Jay was a MMA fighter with me and is also a longtime cop. He's been a cop like 20 years, so it'll be good talks with him. Anyway, I thank you guys for your time. I hope you have a good rest of your week. Keep kicking. Thanks for watching, guys. Just remember that this is not legal advice or investment advice or business advice. This is for fun and entertainment purposes only.